Christmas is here, and the city is celebrating in all sorts of ways. This week on TV, Xiao checks out a rendition of one of the oldest Christmas ballets ever made, while Christy visits some magical indoor installations that are giving people more places to celebrate this Christmas. The holidays have been just as much about keeping traditions alive as it is about evolving them. Let's see what this year brings. Timsato is where the fun begins. Let's see what Xiao has to share with us today.
Growing up abroad, I associate Christmas with the cold, playing in the snow, maybe a big homemade family feast. But Hong Kong is a little bit different. We don't really have the cold, nor do we have the space for a big family gathering. So what do? We go out for dinner. Maybe after dinner, we go look at the lights, maybe have a few drinks. Ultimately, Christmas is a time we spend with our loved ones. So this holiday season, let's see what else there is to do. Let's go. Septim, I know you have a lot of different roles. You wear a lot of different hats in this production. So what exactly do you do?
Well, I'm the artistic director of the company, so I'm the head artistic cheese, let's say.
The head cheese?
Yeah.
Yes.
But in this case, for this production, I am the director and choreographer. So I conceived of it and made up every step, worked with designers, worked with the dramaturg, and really put the show together.
In terms of this whole production, what makes it different from all the renditions?
This ballet is quite a Eurocentric roots.
Right.
In creating this work, wanted to create something that would become a Hong Kong tradition. And I've always felt that art's at its most powerful if people can see themselves in the work. They can be part of it. So we actually set this work in Hong Kong in 1915, early Hong Kong, at a time when Hong Kong was becoming a cosmopolitan city. The city was beginning to have wealth, and this really wonderful East meets West fusion was incubating. And the work seeks to celebrate Hong Kong's history, culture, natural beauty, its food traditions. It's really a big mashup of what Hong Kong is, our inherited memories of Hong Kong.
Is it unusual to have so much history and information kind of packed into a classical ballet show?
It is unusual. Actually, even when telling stories, our language, the language of ballet, is really metaphorical.
Right.
We're not really a medium to teach history. So there are tons of historical details embedded into this production, but really they're there to excite audiences, inspire audiences about the beauty of the place in which they live. But at its core, the work is really not about all that.
Right.
It's about this wonderful story of this young girl coming of age and finding herself. And as she becomes a grown-up, she retains that childlike wonderment. And it's also a wonderful celebration of the way multiple generations of families come together at the holidays. At the end of the day, it's a celebration of our humanity.
Right, right. And I mean, I feel like you've gathered so much information about local Hong Kong information. How long have you lived here for?
I arrived in 2017 and right away knew I wanted to create a new production that would be a tradition for Hong Kong, something that would celebrate the holidays and bring people together. And we premiered it in 2021, so 4 years. So it kind of incubated during that time. I did tons of research, partnered with many, many organizations and individuals. And 4 years later, we have a new tradition.
And what would you say the main takeaway you want for the audience member in the show?
I think this production serves three things. One is this production is certainly a port of entry to young people into the world of ballet. The second is for real ballettomanes, real dance goers. I have really challenged the dancers. This is a hard ballet. There's virtuosity galore. I present a work that has this, physical excitement, actually. And the third is I would want that message of retaining a childlike approach to the world and valuing family and multiple generations during the holidays, this celebration of who we are as Hong Kong people, to be really singing in people's hearts as they leave the theater.
That's beautiful. Stephanie, what is your role for the show?
I'm the assistant of wardrobe director.
Okay.
So my main job duty is to manage all the costumes, and I also supervise the dressers in the show and manage all the quick changes.
That's a stressful job.
Let them know
so
what to
everything
do.
we just walked through has gone by you.
Yes, I'll say that.
Wow, and I mean, we're looking at some beautiful pieces here.
Yeah.
And so, who wears this beautiful dress?
Well, this is actually the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the main girl in the show.
And this, I can't even imagine how long a piece like this would take. So, tell us approximately how long from beginning to end to this.
It almost takes us half a year just to figure out the construction of the costume. Yeah, it almost like half a year before we can actually start.
Is there one in particular that maybe gave you the hardest time, or ones that's more on the memorable side of constructing?
The most memorable one, I will say, is the Bohemia costume. Yeah, so it's a Hong Kong flower that represents Hong Kong. So while we were constructing the Bohemia flower, because we had to put petals and petals, layers of petals together, and it's for the quarter ballet as well, so we need to make 20 of them. We don't have a very big working place here, so when we were working on that one, it's just pink and green everywhere in our workshop. It's just like a garden.
What are these used for?
Oh, these are actually for the little kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it is from a dim sum scene.
Right.
Yeah, so the dim sum mother, she comes out, actually he comes out.
Progressive.
Yeah, with a bamboo steamer skirt. And all the little kids will be coming out from the bamboo steamer and they'll dance on stage. And the little kids are the dim sums.
And I just, from my peripheral, I see these, I guess they're wearing, these are what the kids wear?
Yes, this is what they wear, and it's sitting on their waist. It's just like a tutu.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm still wrapping my head around all these elements and how extravagant these pieces are. It's beautiful. So, have you done this production before?
Yeah, so we did this production last year. We had the premiere. Production, some version of it is done in most ballet companies all over the world.
Right. In this particular production, how many characters or roles are you playing this time?
So this year I'm doing 5 in total. I'm one of the mothers in the party scene. I'm the mother in the so-called elegant family.
Okay.
That's probably the first role and probably my least technical role of the show. The next part I play is the Snow Queen. So she's in the snow scene and she's bringing the snow and leading her snowflakes.
That's fun.
The next one is the White Snake.
Ooh.
The White Snake. I'm the lead cockatoo, and I'm also the Dewdrop Fairy, which is probably the most technical role that I do in the show.
That's, that's pretty impressive. 5 roles. In this production, obviously, the cast and crew are so big, and you spend so much time with them. I bet they kind of become family. You see these people every day, more or less, do you not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the dancers in the company are kind of like my brothers and sisters.
Right.
We share a lot together. In the performance, most of what I'm dancing, I have a partner, or I'm surrounded by the women of the corps. So it's not, even though I'm doing soloist roles, I'm not really alone on stage very much.
Right.
Like, it's very much a family feeling, even in the studio, because what we do is incredibly difficult, so we need the support of each other. We are each other's family.
We're still here getting a behind-the-scenes look at this Christmas ballet. Xiao, who are we speaking to next?
Wesley, how old are you?
I am 12.
You're 12?
Yes.
And how old were you when you started doing ballet? Do you remember?
I was about 2 and 3, yeah, something like that.
So starting at 2, that's very impressive. And so did you just naturally kind of fall in love with ballet, or was it something you saw as a kid that made you want to do it?
I had friends, so they had a class for ballet, and they really wanted me to try for like fun. And then I started liking it, and then going
And
to...
you just kind of continued
Yes.
on. And so what is your role in this production? What's your character?
I'm going to be, in party scene, I'm going to be elegant boy,
Elegant boy.
yeah, in Act 1. And jockeys in Act 2.
Okay, so you have a couple roles.
Yes,
Couple,
two.
yeah.
About 2.
About 2. And is there a particular part in this show that is your favorite? It doesn't have to be a part that you're in, maybe just, I'm sure you've seen it from beginning to end. Is there a part that you really, really enjoy watching?
Last year, I was a role called Fisherman. It is, I think it is about the, you know, in Chengchao, there's this bun festival.
Yeah.
And then there's this guy who climbs up the mount, like the bun tower,
yeah.
and then steals those buns. I was that boy.
You were the
Yes.
thief.
And then
Rightly put.
at the beginning of that scene, I had to run out by myself on the stage. And that part is my favorite because the whole audience is watching me.
And there's like no one else kind of thing, like the focus is on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I had to go like holding the bun and go shh. And then I couldn't let anybody know I'm stealing. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's a role that I want to do. That's great.
Also, my primary school and secondary school also supported me. Yes.
The whole school.
Yes.
You're like a superstar.
The principal, like on the internet, she posted about me to come watch me.
Oh, and so during that stealing scene, you probably had a great, you know, a lot of people saw you do your bun stealing, and that was your moment. That's amazing. Knowing that you have to work every Christmas and throughout the holidays, does this kind of become your family's tradition? Do they come and support you every Christmas and watch the show, and then maybe after the show you guys do something?
Yes, actually. For Christmas, it's like the rehearsals are almost like taking over me.
So you do have a very busy schedule throughout the holidays,
Yes.
and with your rehearsal time almost daily and hours at a time, I guess every pocket of time you have that you can spend with your family is very precious and valuable.
Yeah.
That's great. What's on your wish list this year? Just between you and me, what's on your wish list for Christmas this year? You can tell me.
It's actually not a physical thing.
Intriguing. Go on.
I want the happiness of the audience.
And I'm sure with your performance, and you know, I saw a little bit of behind the scenes, some of the rehearsals and the wardrobe and everything. I'm sure you guys, make the audience happy every single time. It's very impressive. So Andrew, just curious, how long have you been watching ballet for?
So I got into it about 20 years ago, and it kind of sucked me into it more and more. And so about in the last 10 years, I've become quite an ardent fan. I just really want to see the show a few different times to see all the different cast members and what they have to offer.
So every time it's a little bit different. And so I'd imagine there are some traditionalists who don't really like change. They want the score to be original, they want everything to look the same. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think this show has changed from its initial performances through the ages, and it's always evolving, unlike some of the other Tchaikovsky ballets, which tend to be locked in a little bit more, even though they are also reinterpreted. So this one's, I think, more commonly reinterpreted to local setting or put in different places. So the Hong Kong setting is especially lively, and so that's the one thing one of the things that I really love about this version of it is that it has the fast pace of Hong Kong built into it. Tchaikovsky on steroids in the way they play it. It's wonderful to watch.
That's great. So you welcome the changes. You like seeing different variations, interpretations.
I love it, yeah. I love seeing it not just staged different ways, but performed different ways. The experienced ballerina will come on and add some poignancy to the beautiful romance. The younger ones will add a playful freshness to it. Almost a different moment, the way the two are interpreting it.
Celebrating the holidays can be done in many different ways. This production took a classic ballet show and added local elements to celebrate with the city. No matter what you do this holiday season, I hope you get to spend it with your friends and family. Take time to recharge and rest and get ready to ring in the new year. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
And to you too, Xiao. Now, let's fly over to Central, where a massive installation was built inside a shopping mall and is now heating up the city. What else can you share with us, Christy?
It's December and it's the most wonderful time of the year because it's the holiday season. My family celebrates Christmas by having a big homemade feast, decorating a tree, and my favorite of all, looking at different Christmas decorations all over the city. I can't wait to see what's new this year. Let's go check it out. Hi Alex, this installation is beautiful. Could you talk more about what your role is in this whole project?
Well, it's really a team project. We get together at the beginning of the year, so 12 months, at least 12 months ago, to look into how we could create the most magical moment at this shopping mall. And at the shopping mall, what we try to do is always share the love and joy of Christmas.
Where did you guys get this inspiration from? Because I know you do it every year.
Yeah. Well, our inspiration actually comes from our teams. So we have a really diverse team, new colleagues for fresh ideas, as well as experienced ones. And we try to just iterate over and over again until we come up with the most iconic ideas.
What is it about this year's installation versus any other year?
Well, this is the first year we've created a giant bakery in this destination, and I don't think there's another one in Hong Kong. So we've got 80 of Mrs. Claus's helpers around 16 different festive attractions. So you could see a massive cookie decoration tree, a giant teapot over there, and we even have a metaverse as part of this installation. Yeah.
How did you come up with the idea of incorporating the metaverse as well? Because in real life and in the metaverse.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think everyone's interested in digital and everyone's interested in the metaverse. As I said, we've got a lot of young people in our team and they're very front in all these key topics. So all the brands also around you, they wanted to participate. That's why we decided to create a metaverse.
This installation is beautiful and there's so many people around here just looking at it. Is there something that you guys would want the spectators to feel when they see this?
Absolutely. I mean, the theme this year is love is in the giving. So when people come here, we'd like to experience the joy of giving cookies. And of course, we want families to come and share with their friends and their families together.
Hi, Cindy and Paul. Thank you for being with us today. How did you celebrate Christmas before as a child? And have you ever thought of maybe like also doing those traditions with your own child?
Actually, when I was young, my parents liked to take me out to look at Christmas installations, especially Christmas lights at night. And we often find it really fascinating because you only see them during Christmas. So I think that's what we want to do with Amayas as well.
I think it's really about family because when I was in the UK as a child, we used to gather for Christmas.
I
think it's the same here, really. It's just on a different day. So Christmas Eve dinner in Hong Kong, and then Christmas Day lunch we have together.
So as a family, you guys, it's just a family gathering for everyone.
Exactly.
Is there anything new that you want to introduce to your son for this?
Well, actually, in the past, we only had a very small Christmas tree when it's just the two of us. But since we had Amayas, then we decided to get a really big one.
Big tree.
And it's a recyclable one. So every year we put them together. And it's a really nice family tradition because we build them layer by layer together. And Amayas loves, trying to help, even though he can't help much. But, he feels his involvement. And it's really nice doing it together and decorating the Christmas tree.
Hi, Sam. This place looks amazing. Just makes me feel very Christmassy.
The place that we want to provide, giving not just in a visually impact of the green. We just want to have more smell and feelings, and even the music, and providing them have a good feeling of life. For me, why we suggest in this end of the year, in this moment, we have this pop-up concept, and we want to showing to people that besides of bringing Christmas tree back home, and also you can bring back greenery and bring back some new feeling of relaxing or new message what you want to bring out for the next year. And this is a rethinking moment at the end of the year.
I think that's so important. Many people forget that Christmas, or at least December, should be a relaxing time. It's the holidays, people should have fun, people should relax, people should kind of look at all these plants and feel relaxed. Yeah, no, this is such an important message, just the idea of gifting and sharing, making sure everyone feels the love this Christmas season.
Christmas always feels merrier when the city sends holiday cheer through big, bright light displays, extraordinary installations, and inspire new and old traditions.
It's been a fruitful day looking at all the Christmas decorations. Not only are they visually stimulating, but they also serve a greater purpose. Some charitable, some extending family tradition, and some even just to immerse yourself in nature in the middle of the city. No matter how you choose to celebrate, I'm wishing you happy holidays.